Okay, we're just doing some stinking arms today. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. 26? Yeah, this is my second attempt at a Grand Prix today. I was trying to do Dr. Coyle earlier, but I just was not getting, not doing well. And so I figured I'd swap over to somebody I'm a bit more comfortable with, but then talk about arms while I'm doing it. 'Cause yeah, I really wanted to do Dr. Coyle because she gets like a lot of interesting lore. If you like with some of the stuff that, like they get in like the pre-fight things. Like there was this one really interesting bit. I didn't catch all of it because the dialogue just kind of scrolls whether you wanted to or not, And sometimes I miss it, but it was saying something about with like Master Mummy, like the like the reanimation experiment being a success. It's like, was Master Mummy like an experiment? Come on. Like, I just need one, okay? Yeah, this is a lot stronger start than I had with Coil. This might actually be who I'm better with. Which is fine. I have this bad habit. Well, I shouldn't even call it like a habit, but I have this crappy luck with like a lot of fighting games where whoever I want to be my main, typically, no, I'm like, it's whoever I want to secondary, that's actually who I'm better with. Because in, like, Darkstalkers, I want to frickin'... I like Cienko in that. But Cienko, like, is not my best character. Like, it's still just I'm not good at fighting games. Darn it. Just get out, Helix. But yeah, like even still, I get like a lot better results with Lord Raptor than I do Cienko. Yeah, you're not getting out of this, boy. And yeah, Twintel, it kind of varies back and forth whether I want to be, like whether I like Twintel or Dr. Coyle better. Because they're both freaking awesome. But yeah, Dr. Coyle is actually considered like one of the best characters, so you'd think that'd be like the easier person to pick up, but no, I guess I need to get better with the movements and everything. Yes. But I was saying about Master Mummy and about how, like Dr. Coyle saying something about it being like a reanimation, like experiment or something with him. And that just... How do you use it? No, that's a question. Okay, sure. But yeah, like, it just raises some question, because it was my interpretation of events that Master Mummy was, like, long entombed with, like, his wife and kid. And, like, his family woke up first, and then it was, him who woke up afterwards, which is why he's searching for him, right? And, like, if he beat his Grand Prix, his picture is him, like, like, in an interview with Biff with his family. So he obviously found them. Just die. There we go. But if he was brought back as an reanimation test, that just raises some questions. Okay, caught her. Because then, like, if he was brought back specifically as part of an experiment, why is his wife and kid back? Like, what it could be, and this is just, like, a really dumb theory we will never know, probably. because Dark Horse refuses to actually print the comics that they promised us on Free Comic Book Day like 2 years ago. It was just way open and you missed your opportunity, Mechanica. But yeah, like, I could see it being something like Dr. Coyle, if she was the one that brought Mummy back, digging up the entire family and being like, well, I'm going to experiment on these two first, right? Make sure I got my reanimation tech, you know, down pat. And then I'm going to, revive Master Mummy. He's like, he has arms potential. He's the main attraction. Or maybe she could have made any of them arms candidates, like with her final experiment, and he was just the last one she got to, so luck of the draw, he's the one with, the arms ability. I think I'm gonna stick with these. It just goes on for days! Aren't I supposed to slow you down? Come on, Mummy. I am probably not winning this one. Dear Lord, he has like 400 and then he's like right in front of it. My gosh. He's just an absolute beast. But yeah, I kind of wonder how, if true, Mummy would feel about that. Just because, like, that would mean that him, him and his family was an experiment. His sacred resting ground with his family was violated by Coil as part of a series of experiments. Well, that was very gentlemanly. You waited until I was back up so you could rub it in. But then at the same time, if Coil, like, Mummy and his family, Master Mummy and his family would still be dead if they were not part of whatever experiments led to their reanimation. Still gonna stick with it. Okay, you got slate bonus. This is still fine. Yeah, knock him over. No, you were supposed to stay down! So yeah, I don't know. I'm just very curious and kind of wish we could get the damn comic we were supposed to get. Boy, I sure hope he doesn't, I don't know, stay unconscious. Oh dear Lord. Sometimes it just seems like they set up the other guy, like, so much better. And then other times, it is, like, totally in my favor and is freaking crazy. I think we lost. Well, I'm gonna stop my commentary so that I can just concentrate on this, and I'll cut in the extraneous, cut out the extraneous stuff. That ought to work. And as pretty much every time I say, I'm only putting the good one in, I manage to win. Dear Lord, some days I just hate skill shots so much. Ay. Mark! I hear that they're actually considered the worst. Which, okay, can be jumped on. Which, it strikes me as weird because I always consider them, and it's probably just evidence that I'm like, you know, I could be a lot better at the game, right? But just like the fact that you can be concentrating on your opponent and all of a sudden, you know, like, sucker punch! Ouch. Come on, hit him. Oh, you guard at a very unfortunate time. Almost kind of surprising that they don't have some kind of... At least I don't think they have a connection with Dr. Coyle. Because it seems like every major thing that ever happens is somehow Dr. Coyle related. Like, I mean, if you just get down to it, she's the one that, like, funds this entire tournament. So, yeah, like, in general, this game couldn't happen without her. And hell, like, even the... Why didn't I just guard? Instead, I always try and jump away. I'm just, like, not one that has, like, a really, you know, defensive mindset. My mindset is always just, I can be attacking right now and doing damage, and if I'm hitting them, they can't be hitting me, you know. Or, why block something that I can dodge? When, you know, like, it's, you can't always dodge. And screw you, you clockwork dipshit! Oh well, I used mine just in time. Well, that stopped just short, but not that one. See, that time I did it. But yeah, I'm still taking chip damage, so it's also one of those things that, like, if I'm ever aiming for perfect, I just can't. I can't afford to even, you know, like, guard. What even blocked him? Did Bark block? Well, you're dead. You're dead. You wind up son of a bitch. Yeah, like one of the other things, though, that like make, that even make arms possible is apparently when arms, like the arms thing happens, the phenomena where your arms just turn into the weird, like Hither chains and all that other stuff. When your arms turn into big, goofy, long, you know, like, other things. Apparently you have trouble, it takes, like, a ton of concentration to even, you know, control them at all. But Dr. Coyle invented the mash. She found that there was, like, a connection, like, one of the things that happens with arms is when you get it, like, if you look at every character's eyes, they have, like, weird swirls in them. They have spiral eyes, I guess would be the best way of describing it. Because of that, I should probably just attack. Okay, I thought that hit him. But she saw there was like a connection to that, and she made the mask, and when you wear the mask, then you can control your arms like no problem. You gotta be kidding me. You're so annoying. Hashtag cancel Ninjara. So yeah, like, the entire sport is only possible because of the work that Dr. Coyle did. So yeah, she's like massively important. She's like considered the villain, but at the same time, it's like this whole thing couldn't exist without her too. Darn it, his hit first. Well, now you're out of the healing goo. Yeah, it's just fascinating. I really want to know more about the lore. I know some people are hoping for a second game sometime soon. But like I've said in like the past, like there's so many other like big properties on the Switch that have not gotten a sequel. I don't see this being like one of the few that gets priority. If there was a resurging interest, they could always do it so that... Come on. Okay, just flail at this point. That there's like a few more DLC characters. I have some ideas. I've been thinking about it. I haven't drawn them up yet, but people want to see. I'll show my, I'll commit them to paper and I'll show my dang arm OCs. But yeah, I don't know. I just... Okay, this. Freaking hoops. I hate it. Darn it! There we freaking go. Darn it, I want to hit you with that Electro Ball. No! I only meant to hit him once. Yeah, you best count that. You're frozen! You can't dodge very well when you're frozen! Do you want to build a snowman? Oh, you were supposed to... Okay. You know what? There's something I can actually do here. If I hit him enough, I think it bounces... Yeah, it does that. So Final Rush, even though it doesn't seem like it should do much in this scenario, does actually do something in this scenario. It's very fascinating. Okay, we'll do one more. I was only going to go to 6, but we're not quite at 20 yet. Okay, Massango. That was somebody I wanted to talk about, actually. Phew, my goodness. But yeah, it was just one of those things that I found interesting, because, like, with the whole Smash, like, Min Min and Smash, everyone's like, we wanted a person of color. But I didn't see anybody being like, well, Massango's of color. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm not sure where he's... It's very hard to pin down where, like, a lot of these characters are from. A lot of times you need to use, like, vocal clips and see what language they're speaking. And that can kinda... tip you off. There's, like, a little bit of French in Twintel's speech. So you can, like, she's... like, definitely French. I kind of want to say that she's, like, one of the few they actually explicitly state in, like, one of her, like, character intros. Like, I think maybe even with Biff. I'll have to go over the footage again, but yeah, like, she is definitely French. And then there's, like, a few other oddball characters, like Ribbon Girl and Springman. Like, I think from what I'm told, I tried looking up where each character's from. And I think the way most people tell are, like I said, the language, but also when they show them on the Grand Prix, it'll show where their main, like their base of operations is on a map. And if you can kind of, like, superimpose that onto, like, real-world maps, you can kind of figure it out. Springman's supposed to be from Manhattan specifically, which makes sense. I think, like, I am not a movie buff, but I do believe there have been like several like boxing, famous boxing movies that took place in Manhattan. And hell, I almost want to say Punch Out. Like, I think Little Mac is from, from Manhattan, but don't quote me on that. So, that makes sense. Ribbon Girl kind of surprised me because she's supposed to be from America too. I guess she's supposed to be like a pop singer, but I always thought that it was more like she was a Japanese idol. Come on, you were in the middle of transforming. No, Massango. So yeah, like the fact that she's American is interesting to me. Ninjara's obviously Japanese. Min Min's Chinese. But yeah, like Massango, I take it, like my belief is that he's from South America. They do say, I think, like they say the group he's associated with, which could very well be like his tribe, right? But I'm afraid to look it up because I feel like I'll look up the word and I'll get, it'll say, oh, that's a word that means this from this culture. And then, I'll say, oh, he's from here. And then somebody else will come in and be like, actually, that is the name of this tribe from this place, meaning he's actually this. And then, it'll just show my ignorance even more. Because, like, a lot of languages with a lot of similar sound, like, a lot of similar words can be there. Some just sound similar. Aye. Reminds me of something really funny that I could discuss next time. Thanks for watching, and you know what? I will discuss it next time, so look forward to it. Also, if anyone out there can give me a straight answer on where Massango is from, I'd really appreciate it. The ARMS lore really interests me, more than it probably should.